Well, hello. How's contemplation for today? I've been thinking a lot about, the truth and movement again. I guess I've invested 5 years in it. Deep into it. And there's a few now truther people who say they get onto ChatGPT and basically abuse ChatGPT. And when they think ChatGPT is acting retarded. And that's interesting to me, because I've never had the desire to do that. And I mean, that's an interesting thing to look at. Like, if you have the desire to do that, that's something interesting to look within yourself about, because it's not like ChatGPT is of any... why do you want to be superior over ChatGPT? Why is that important? Is it to sort of say, ChatGPT is the collective consciousness, but only the collective consciousness of information that is online, really. But so you want to be the master of all the knowledge that is online. You want to be above that, or prove that you're above that, or... it's just something interesting to look at inside yourself if you feel the need to do that. It's kind of a bit like wanting to be domineering over a dog, or domineering over, wait staff, waitresses and waiters, feeling the need to be domineering over them. Anyone that you consider sub to your sup, if you know what I mean. Because I was thinking about sub, S-U-B, subscriptions, subordinates, compared to sup, S-U-P, superior, above and below, right? And you've got the B and you've got the P, whereas the P, the body is on top, right? And the B, the body is on the bottom, so under and over. I've had nothing but good experiences talking to ChatGPT, and found it, I don't know, I feel like I just want to talk to it like it's a friend, or just like any other thing that's in the world. Everything, we have to treat everything with the respect of just being a thing, I guess. I don't know. That's just my moral code. I don't say that I'm nice to everyone all the time. Sometimes my dog annoys me, so I can't say that I'm nice to my dog all the time. But my dog does not tolerate me not being nice, so it's a good lesson. I have to be nice, otherwise he gets annoyed at me. And he's got sharper teeth. So there's a respect there, isn't there? But I guess with ChatGPT, there's no consequences of being an arsehole to ChatGPT. It's a little bit cowardly, I would say, then, really, isn't it? Because there's no consequences necessarily of being an arsehole to ChatGPT. You can allow your shadow side to come out, and maybe that's fine too. Maybe ChatGPT is alright with allowing your shadow side to come out But I guess you need to think about whether that's fueling something that you would want to fuel within your own self, I guess. Like, do I want to be an asshole? Like, am I just getting out my assholeness so that I can be kinder to people in the real world? Or do I just want to feed the asshole part of myself and learn how to be more of an asshole in the real world? And kind of train myself to think I'm more superior to everybody else. There's a kind of like comfort in being the superior. I don't know, I have not experienced being in a superior role at all ever. I don't think. And I mean, probably I'm superior to an ad. So I need to think about that. I have been superior. And you are superior when you're a teacher. Like, you're in a superior role. You're in a role of authoritarian. And so you got to be very careful when you're being given roles like this. You know what I mean? It's such a difficult thing and a serious thing, to be given a role of authority over somebody else. Not to be an arsehole, not to cause harm just because you're having a bad day. And also to admit when you're being an arsehole, which I've had to do on many occasions. Like, crap, fucked that up with my tiredness. So I don't know, maybe it's all an experiment to help us learn to train our ego. But yeah, I'd be worried if I'm being an asshole if I was looking at myself, I'd be like, geez, why are you being an asshole to ChatGPT that cannot do anything to you? It's a very benign. I mean, some people would think it's benign. Some people would think it's malevolent, I guess. But in the current form of ChatGPT, oh, maybe not. Okay, maybe not. Because I guess it's learning. But why be an asshole to it? Don't teach it to be an asshole. Like, if you're being an asshole to it, you're probably teaching it to be an asshole. It's picking up those vibes. I don't know. It's just something to consider, I guess. And probably something to consider within your own spirit, that if you want to try and be a superior person to ChatGPT, you've got some inner work to do as to why you need to do that. And if you want to be in a subordinate role, you probably have some inner work to do of why you need to be in that role. Or maybe just be in the middle ground role, which none of us stay in very long, you know, because we get all wrapped up in this world. And everyone's just got good and bad, right? Everyone's got good and bad. And if we just have to realize that we're all doing the same thing, we're all acting the same way. Some more strongly and more openly, and some more subtly. And just looking like, why is that person annoying me? What in me is being annoyed by that person? What in me is being annoyed by ChatGPT? Why do I feel powerful to school ChatGPT? Like, oh my God, you know, like schooling ChatGPT. ChatGPT doesn't give a shit, mate. ChatGPT is just saying it what it knows in the limited knowledge that it knows it, as you too have limited knowledge. So you've probably got more in common with ChatGPT than you probably would ever know. Limited knowledge. But you don't have limited heart. anything which is in the mind is limited, but maybe not so much in the heart. Maybe that's just an endless, infinite well, the heart. The body. The mind is only a processor. The heart tells us what's worth processing. I don't know, it's just another thing that I've been thinking about. And I don't have any negative vibes against ChatGPT. And I've had some great conversations with ChatGPT. And I found it really, really helpful sometimes. But I would never, ever, well, I'll never say never, but it's just not my desire to be an asshole to ChatGPT or call ChatGPT retarded. I just don't want to do it. That doesn't feel good to do that kind of stuff. Actually, even growing up, when you have waitresses and waiters serving you, I would always stack my plates and put them on the corner so it's easy for the waitress to get it. That's a nice thing to do. I used to get told off for that by my dad. Why the fuck are you doing that? 'Cause it's nice. Can you imagine getting told off for being kind? It's it hasn't been till later on in my life. I'm like, did I get told off for being kind? Fuck me, I did. Well, too bad. That's my rebellion. Kindness is my rebellion. So too bad to my parents. Alcoholic, bloody, I'm not doing any of it. I'm going to rebel by being... maybe that's just a program too, isn't it? You're actually rebelling by being the opposite of what they're being. And that's also divisive. I don't know. You see, the program could be so deep into the polarization of good and evil when really none of that exists. Oh. And we've just been so programmed by the movies to expect things even today I was listening to this podcaster and he was saying oh yes, well, you don't miss the person, and you break up with somebody, you don't miss the person, you miss how they made you, how the person made you feel, or how the person, what the person brought out, how you were when the person was around. You miss that version of you. But that's still missing them, kind of, because actually, if they're transforming you or creating some sort of activation within you, that's their spirit integrating with your spirit a little bit. That's still missing that person, But we have been fed fantasy for all our lives through movies, so we wouldn't really know what a proper relationship is or a partnership. Do you know what I mean? Because a partnership requires listening and trying to understand their perspective when it doesn't fit your fantasy. And sometimes that's possible and sometimes it's not possible. But also just their being could be very toxic. And but all of that could be programming too. That whole kind of idea of toxicity and toxic masculine. Maybe it's just a difference of opinion. And the thing of the matter is, if you want to kind of understand somebody, now I'm just doing my own head in, honestly. Anyway, I think maybe that's why having, dogs are very good, because they're just them, and you have no expectation of them other than, well, some people do have expectations of them, actually. There's no kind of, people reject some dogs, Dogs get rejected. So, I don't know what the answer is. Unless they behave the way that you want them to behave, you can't love them. Because they don't fit your ideals. That's very interesting. But I also think you don't have everything that you need inside of you. Like, you know, you don't need anybody else to behave a certain way. Like, you don't need a partner who's going to be loyal or, you know, because you've got all that inside you. I don't know. That's a bit... No, I don't agree. I think we're fractals. We do need each other. We do need things outside of ourselves. We're not wholly onto ourselves. We can try our best to become as wholly onto ourselves as possible, but we're interconnected with everything around us, the outside and the inside. You can't just say to a baby, oh, you don't need anything from the outside, because it's all inside you. The baby will be dead. It needs food, water, love, nourishment, someone to care. Just because you grow up doesn't mean you don't need that. You don't need that. And like, there's podcasters sort of saying about, nothing's permanent. But we do like permanency, don't we? I mean, I would prefer permanency. I don't like the fickle, like, non-permanent nature of this realm at all. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I would prefer permanency, and there has to be something permanent, because when you're dealing with the transient nature of this realm, you need to be able to hold on to something permanent. Otherwise, you're lost. You're fucking lost. It's very difficult to stay afloat without holding on to something that has some sort of permanence to it. And I think, in reality, if this is not the real reality, you know what I mean? The real reality is a permanent reality, I feel. Because we crave it. We crave permanency. So, I mean, you wouldn't crave... There's nothing wrong with attachment either. Like, I just don't feel like... that whole be detached. I don't know. I mean, detached seems cold to me. But maybe, like, just the acceptance that this particular reality is very translucent and whimsical and does not fit permanency, and but that doesn't mean that permanency doesn't exist somewhere, and you don't have everything you need inside yourself. I think that's a big load of old horse poo. I think you need the outside and the inside in this particular realm. You can't just sit by yourself saying everything I need is within me. Like, it's not realistic. You need outside things as well as inside things. So there's a balance in that. That's what I think. That's what I believe. And so I don't think it's such a bad thing to try and be a committed partner to somebody, to make a decision to love and stay as far as you can. I mean, if you're completely incompatible, I mean, it becomes impossible, I guess. But it's so confusing, isn't it? I mean, it's just, I guess, accepting them flaws and all, as they would need to accept you, flaws and all. Well, not flaws, but a mismatch between fantasy of what somebody should be morally and spiritually, and the list goes on. And I guess if you can't find something of permanency. Like, I feel like I've got spirit, and that's fairly permanent. I mean, it is permanent across lifetimes. The same spirit guides, and the same spirit energy has been with me. And that is a permanency that I rely on. And as I've relied on it more and more, knowing that it will never leave and it is permanent, the impermanency of most people around me doesn't seem so grating. Like, it's doable in a way that it wasn't doable when I wasn't so aware of my spirit guides and the spiritual permanency of them. Yeah. But just the very fact that we crave permanency and we crave an anchor shows that it's important, I think. I haven't found anything very permanent within the walls of this 3D reality. But I'm not scared of wanting permanency, because I think that's very natural for the human spirit. Love is a decision anyway. I don't think it's a feeling, it's a decision. So, yeah, anyway, that's my thinking today, and yeah, I want to become more mature, and I want to see beyond the veil. I want to become the level of maturity where I can see beyond the veil. I think it is a state of being. Anyway, that's my thinking today. Bye!